Welcome back, fanboys and fangirls, to Nerds on Topic. This is a news episode for August 19th through the 26th. Let's get into things. I sound like I have a lisp now. All right, let's start.
Ready? Kick it up now!
Oh, man, I needed that. All right, welcome back, everybody. Oh, man, it has been a very long week, and I have been looking forward to recording this the entire time because it's pretty much the only thing I've had to look forward to this week. uh, I'm recording very late today. Just a little peek behind the microphone right now. Normally, I'd be recording this around 8 o'clock in the evening. It is currently 11:02 p.m. And yes, I am drinking coffee right now, which is out of my very favorite Nerds Rule mug from the dollar store. Oh. So, I'm still trying to work everything out with this whole news and topic thing, and just trying to take it smooth, take it slow right now, get into the groove of things. Um, all right, so let's kick things off, starting with the movies. So some interesting news from Netflix. It says Netflix has announced that they are going to start putting money into their movies, kind of like on the level of the Marvel movies. They want to compete with Hollywood and to hit on some somewhat forgotten genres like rom-coms. They've had some attempts, but nothing on the level they're really wanting right now. Um, their first movie they're working on is actually something I'm super kind of excited for, even though I'm not a big fan of action movies. It's a Michael Bay directed, Ryan Reynolds led action movie called Six Underground. I don't know what all it's going to be about, but Ryan Reynolds is a great actor. Ryan Reynolds is a great actor, and Michael Bay is good with explosions, and both of them are pretty good with comedy. So hopefully they have some kind of light-hearted humor to go with all the action going on. Moving on from there, we've it looks like okay. So everyone who likes Robert Downey Jr., we know that he's not going to be Iron Man for much longer, but he is going to be doing a third movie in his little Sherlock Holmes series he's had going on for a while now. I was a big fan of the first two movies he put out for that, and they just put out that there's going to be a 2020 release date for the new third installment in the Sherlock Holmes series. Oh man, I'm really excited for that. I uh, I really it was really interesting take on the character. I liked how they would slow down during scenes and he would talk about what he was going to do through like precise calculations like during a fight. Um Moving on from there, we've got the Venom movies having a couple of problems. Other than the fact that they just announced that they're going to try to make it into a trilogy. The director's having a really big trouble trying to figure out if they're going to make it R-rated or PG-13. They want to get those butts in the seats, but they don't know if a R rating is going to harm it or not. And I feel like an R rating would be good for Venom because he's such a brutal character that is a cannibal and relies on a lot of blood and gore for his whole shtick going on. Um, moving on, which I seem to be saying a lot right now. Which trilogy do you guys like better? It's a tale as old as time, a song as old as rhyme. Is it Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? Well, now there's going to be a little bit of a crossover. Um, Casting decisions for the new Star Wars Episode 9 has been announced, and it seems like they're getting someone from the little-known Lord of the Rings trilogy, Dominic Monaghan, who, if you don't know, played Merry, one of the hobbits. Right now, his role is actually listed as unknown, but I'm really excited to see what's going on. He's a good actor. He was funny in it was really funny in Lord of the Rings. Um, oh yeah. So remember, like a minute or two ago, when I was talking about the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock third Sherlock movie coming out. Well, he's not the only one taking on the public domain detective. The comedy pairing of Will Ferrell and John C. Riley from Step Brothers are trying their hands at the titular characters of Sherlock Holmes and Watson. I honestly don't know how I feel about this. I I'm not a big fan of some of Will Ferrell's movies or John C. Riley's, but I did really like John C. Riley when he was playing the World War II pilot from Kong Skull Island. So I'm totally going to give this a shot. It'll be interesting to see a possibly comedic take on Sherlock Holmes. So that's going to be fun, I hope. Well, they just released a poster that shows the two of them in full costume gear, and it doesn't look too bad. Okay, so this is actually going to be some of my favorite movie news for the week. Remember a few years ago when Game Freak was auctioning off the movie rights for Pokemon, which was also then quickly bought up by my very quickly becoming favorite movie studio, Legendary Pictures, who grabbed that shit like I grab for snacks that I claim are healthy, uh, and they just announced what they're finally making. They put out a title and graphic for it and everything. But what would you think Legendary Pictures would put out for a Pokemon movie? Like a badass, d- dark kind of movie where they have a kid from Kanto going through the world full of realistic, terrifying monsters, uh, capturing and taming them, and taking down a criminal organization while taking on his dreams of becoming the Kanto League champion? Nope. Detective fucking Pikachu. Keeping the voice actor of Ryan Reynolds from the game that just came out from in America. Uh, they just got a full title card and logo revealed at the Pokemon Championships, which I'm super excited for. Oh man, it's gonna be really fun. Um, and using that as a totally smooth segue because I'm amazing at those. Let's go into video games. Rolling into Pokemon Go. Ho-Oh is back in the gyms for Johto Week. And the community day for this month looks like it's going to be the Ugly Green Pear Chikorita, for those who don't have a Meganium yet. Um, Speaking of Pokemon Go and nostalgia, Ghostbusters World has more information going on for it now. Starting to talk a little bit too fast for my own good. It looks like it's going to be just like Pokemon Go, where instead of you capturing Pokemon, you're going around capturing ghosts. And on top of that, they're going to have a story mode, which sounds like it's going to be pretty interesting, and PvP. Um, Moving into some Nintendo news. Well then, it looks like they had an indie games highlight with a shit ton of games. So I'm just gonna go down the list really quick. They start off with Night Cell, a noir-like investigation game where it looks like you play a cabbie. Monster Boy: Cursed Kingdom, a anime-style side-scroller, very happy looking, where you shapeshift into different monsters. Reminds me a lot of the remake of Wonder Boy they did recently. Super excited for that. Let's see, Gardens Between, which looks like it has a really cool time travel mechanic going on with it. Streets of Rogue, a roguelike, No shit. Brawler with an isometric feel. Bad North, another roguelike game that also looks like it's a kind of a um, defense defense strategy game. I can talk. I swear. I'm tired. It's late. I've had a hard day. Okay, I'm done. Just done. What else did they do? Looks like Moonlighter, where you. Oh, so I've actually heard of Moonlighter before. It's a game where you play as a shopkeep in a fantasy world, and you go into a dungeon at night to collect monster items to sell in your shop during the day. It looks pretty interesting. I'm looking to finally being able to try it out. Um, The War of Mine, which is a black and white game that kind of looks post-apocalyptic. Don't really know much about it. Um, Children of Marta, I think it's called. It's an overhead action RPG with like some really amazing looking pixel art. I can't wait to get my hands on that. Everspace, a roguelike space shooter with some Star Fox and Star Wars feeling thrown in there. Uh, Baba Is You, which is a really, really weird looking puzzle game. Um, Slay the Spire, a card based strategy RPG where you climb up a tower. Um, Excuse me about that. Didn't mean to burp in the mic. Um, weird. Windjammers. Windjammers, which was apparently this frisbee game back in the 90s, is actually getting a sequel, Windjammers 2. Terraria is finally coming to the Switch. Prison Architect is coming to the Switch. Um, oh, losing my breath here. One sec. Gonna stop for a sec. Ooh. Morphe's Law is a weird body-changing shooter, which I've heard of before. Coming out of Nintendo news now. Actually, wait, no. One last piece of Nintendo news. It looks like Nintendo Labo just released, or is about to release, a new expansion for it called Vehicles, which is going to have a car, a submarine, and either like a plane or a helicopter. I don't know which it is. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys another peek behind the mic. I just stopped recording for a sec and then completely forgot to restart recording. I read all of this news that I'm about to say right now and realized I wasn't recording. So my voice is hurting a little bit. I'm going to try to rush through this a wee bit. Like I said, coming out of Nintendo news, though I wish this game was coming out for Nintendo, Jump Force just added another anime to their roster of anime and manga for their whole thing going on. Hunter x Hunter, which is amazing up until the latest chapters, I want to say, because I really don't like, fucking whatever is it, Karapika, whatever his name is. I don't like him. Anyways, they added Gon and the clown guy. I can't remember his name, but anyways, they added 2 characters from Hunter x Hunter, as well as more characters from One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Bleach, bringing the character roster up to 15. Oh, man. Then Ubisoft's new horror game, which they claim is much like PT, called Transference, is being described as a video game escape room. The story is about a guy who's trying to transfer human minds into a computer, and you enter as a random guy who got caught in this experiment. It's very similar to PT, but it's also on Vive. It's going to be it's not just going to be a VR game, but it's going to be for PS4, Xbox, VR, Vive, Oculus Rift, all that fun stuff. And if you want, you can go on to PS4 right now or PSVR, and you can get a demo for it. Apparently, it's really cool, really scary. If I had one, I would totally get into it. And now let's get into the TV news. Okay, some DC stuff coming in. DC Universe. I am really excited for this to come out. I really wish it was out already. It looks like Kevin Smith, my favorite director, is getting a daily news show on there. I'm super excited for that. Also, DC doing the Doom Patrol spinoff of Titans just released the casting choice for Robot Man, Cliff. It looks like they're getting the amazing actor Brendan Fraser to play the Robot Man, and my God, that is an amazing choice. I'm super excited for this. Brendan Fraser is a great comedic actor, and kind of has the right feel for the stuntman turned superhero because he was forced into a robotic body. Um, anyways, it seems like the villain for the new season of Flash was just announced, and it's Ragdoll, and they got a contortionist from America's Got Talent, Troy James, to play him. That's pretty interesting. Really good for him. Totally excited for that. I like Ragdoll in the comics. Some other random news. It turns out Big Bang Theory is finally coming to an end. 12 seasons long and very decisive show, like splitting audiences, people saying it's offensive towards nerds. I really don't know how to feel about it. I really liked it when I first started watching it, but then I kind of fell off. I don't really know if I still like it. I might pick it back up, see if I still do, just because it's coming to an end, and I won't feel bad about wasting all my time just watching a show that might never end, or continue on until the end of the universe, which would be ironic because it's about the beginning. Oh, its name is the beginning of the universe. I'm making no sense. It's really late right now, guys. I'm tired. Anyways, people are speculating it's because the actor for Sheldon doesn't want to really come back. Next, it looks like, the Arrowverse has announced their next big crossover, which is going to be featuring Superman and Lois Lane. So, the actor who's playing Superman is also playing Superman in Supergirl. So, I'm really excited to see where that goes. Also, supposedly he's going to have Batwoman. That'll be interesting. I didn't hear about this until today, but apparently Buffy the Vampire Slayer by Joss Whedon is getting a reboot by Joss Whedon. And the actress for Willow said that she's totally up to come back, and she's down to, she's up for the reboot and is down to come back in some capacity. I know what I'm talking about. I can read my own notes. Moving on. So first off, Charmed is getting rebooted. Now Buffy's getting rebooted. Is anything else getting rebooted? Oh wait, yeah, no. Bewitched is getting rebooted on ABC, done by the creator of Blackish. So it's probably going to have a pretty interesting composition to it. I'm excited to see where that goes. Oh man, I really need this coffee right now too. It's hard to stay awake right now. Still feeling like Adult Swim's giving us nothing. They kind of showed us a teaser trailer in a sort of kind of anime style with X-Men influences for Rick and Morty, turning them into superheroes, and it looks really fucking awesome. Excited for that. Can't wait for the show to come back. And was that the end of my TV? Yeah, that's the end of my TV section. And moving on to the last section of today, which is anime. Ha ha ha. I almost rhymed there. Oh, anime. No, that's not the last section of the day. Damn it. Oh, I still have one more after this. Some My Hero Academia news, though. The movie is gonna have an English dub premiere in LA on September 13th. Totally excited for that, especially so I get to see Godzilla, the Godzilla-themed hero from America. So this next one, there's 3 places I could have put this. It's kind of weird, but I'm totally excited for this. Nintendo Switch is getting a new subscription service, kind of like what DC's doing with its comics. It's something called Inky Pin. If you want to sponsor me, totally go ahead. I love comic books, and you guys sound amazing. It's a $7.99 a month subscription service where you get to read through thousands of comics on your Nintendo Switch. You can watch it on your TV. You can read them on, your handheld. You can read it in handheld mode, and it looks really interesting. It is actually coming out next month in September. Going on, the Absolute Duo manga creator is making a new manga based on a light novel series called, I think, Sono Mono. I don't know. There was like 3 different names going around, and one of them was just like a shit ton of like letters with a apostrophe at the end. Well, it's about a guy whose friend she's chosen as like the partner for a hero who has to go out and kill a demon lord, blah blah blah. He waits around for her, but then shit hits the fan, because if shit doesn't hit the fan, then there's no story to actually tell, and there's no point in making the manga. Then next we have We Never Learn from Shonen Jump is actually getting an anime soon. Next up is, oh hey, I never heard of this, but I totally want to go back and read it. It's a manga called High Score Girl, which is about a girl playing 90s arcade games. And like, it's kind of sad, but it's also kind of cool, because if I didn't know that it was ending in September on the 25th, I wouldn't have learned about it. It started back in 2010, and I'm totally going to check it out as soon as it's done. So I can binge read the whole thing in like a day. Animax is making an original anime called Girl Glowing Red. That's not the actual name of it, that's just the American translation. I really don't feel like attempting to read Japanese this late at night. It kind of looks like it's going to sound like a horror anime, from the description, talking about schoolgirls in a radio club doing a ritual that ends up not being fun anymore. Continue on from that, we've got Crunchyroll and Verve, who also, if you guys want to sponsor me, I've been a long time subscriber to Crunchyroll and Verve. Totally hit me up. I will totally pimp you guys out every single episode. They are actually starting a original anime studio for themselves. And it looks like the first show is going to be about a bunch of girls who are named after spices, who are not the Spice Girls, but with all this 90s nostalgia going on, I would not be surprised if it was based off of the Spice Girls. Going on from there, Fairy Tail has started showing some of its key. I totally forgot what I was talking about. Like, it's right in front of me, but for some reason my mind stopped reading it. It's showing some of its key visuals for its final season that is coming out. I'm excited to see, because I read the entire manga. I was kind of upset with how they did the ending, and I kind of hope the anime changes it a little. But I know it's going to be continuing on, even though this says that it's the final season. It's just the final season for this part of the series, because they're doing a 100-year mission series continuation for the show and manga. Continuing on there with the last bit of anime news. Conan O'Brien finally discovered Detective Conan when he was Googling himself, because, well, he's kind of full of himself. Which is funny, because Detective Conan's been out since 1995. And he claims that he's been ripping him off for the last 20 years because he's super popular in Japan. And he went on this whole rant about it, which is pretty funny. Now I'm in the final section for this evening. Comics. Let's read off the releases for the week. Starting off with Amazing Spider-Man number 4, Justice League Dark number 2, Avengers number 6, Venom number 5, Action Comics number 1002, which is ridiculous how long Action Comics has been going on. I know, like, they kind of cheated because they technically renumbered it whenever they did the New 52, but they brought it back with a renumbering. Re-renumbering, I should say. Legacy numbering, I think they called it. Anyways, X-Men Red number 7, West Coast Avengers number 1, starring the new Hawkeye as the leader. She's pretty cool. Just listened to a podcast episode from Geek History Lesson, who are pretty awesome people, about that. Black Hammer Age of Doom #4, Detective Comics number 987. That's going to be getting its 1000th issue soon. Century #3, Black Panther #3, Daredevil #607, Mr. and Mrs. X #2, The Terrifics, which I still really need to get into because it's kind of like DC's answer to Marvel's Fantastic Four series they've got going on. Life of Captain Marvel #2, The Flash #53, Punisher #1, Darth Vader, Star Wars #20, X-Men Gold 34, Royal City 14. I've never even heard of that. Batman Kings of Fear #1. I think that's the Black Label Batman series that just came out. That's kind of like rated R. And Old Man Hawkeye, going off the whole Old Man Logan thing. Whew. Some news from Marvel. They're actually bringing back the original cast of, The Defenders. And they've kind of been showing off the roster one by one, starting with the Hulk, going into Namor, Doctor Strange, and Silver Surfer. That's going to be interesting. It's been a long time since like that specific team has been put together in a single comic book series. Going on from there, Marvel's Conan the Barbarian, based off Robert E. Howard's whole Conan the Barbarian series, is finally getting its release in January, my birthday month of next year. Variant covers for DC's Heroes in Crisis event are being shown off. And it looks like they're showing files from the heroes' past, showing Superman's death, Batman being human and having his spine broken over Bane's back, and it looks like Wonder Woman having killed, who is it? Maxwell Lord? I don't know what's going on with that, but it looks interesting. I'm excited to finally read that. Fun news here. For those who really enjoyed the Over the Garden Wall miniseries from Cartoon Network, it's actually getting a comic book called Over the Garden Wall Hollowtown. I have no idea how it fits into the story, but it's brand new adventures, so tune in for that. And finally, Valiant Comics Quantum and Woody, those superpowered brothers who really don't like each other but have to be together, is ending in November, but it might be getting replaced by a comic series called Unity. I've actually really been getting into the Valiant universe lately, all because I was interested in the Harbingers, and that got me into Faith, Zephyr, and that got me into Quantum and Woody, and Archer and Armstrong, which, like, if you guys want to have a picture of me in your head, just go look up Armstrong, shrink him down to 5'8", and that's pretty much me, down to the hairy-ass chest and the flat cap that he wears all the time. And I even have one of those big messenger bags, which he has a messenger bag that's just a bag of holding. And I literally have the bag of holding messenger bag, so I should just cosplay as him sometime. That'll be interesting. Oh, I'm done talking now. I lied. I have to still plug everything. So, my name is Kevin once again. You can follow me on Instagram at Not Coffee. That's coffee with a K. You can follow me on Twitter at KW Comics. You can follow the show on Instagram at Not Nerds on Topic. You can follow it on Twitter at Nerds Topic, because for some reason I couldn't get Nerds on Topic as my name. Then if you enjoy the intro music, you can follow our amazing DJ Swa on all social media at Swa Music. And just remember, guys, this has been Nerds on Topic. This is not the podcast you're looking for. Bye-bye.